All right, guys. So I wanted to talk about how the witches are technically the problem and stuff. Here's a saying that I love to always use. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful with what power you possess. Be careful with what the power you possess as a person, whether you're rich, whether your personality is. Be careful of the friends you make, and so forth and so on. In the witches aspect, be careful with what your magic does. Because here's the thing. Why are the witches saying that hybrids, Hope being the tribrid, heretics were never supposed to be created, and calls them abominations? Yet they are the ones who created them in the first place. Here's the thing. Yes, Siphoner witches were created thanks to Ben and his magic, but I like to say it's more the witches' fault for having the ability of heretics being created because of this. Yes, Ben the god gives magic to the humans and creates first witches. Silas creates the first immortality spell. The Hollow creates the first werewolves. Esther Michelson creates the first vampires. Then the witches want to kill them all. I mean, yet they are the ones at fault for letting hybrids, heretics, and the tribrid being created. I mean, they're the ones at fault for doing this. The witches are the problem, not the vampires and not the werewolves. If you didn't want a hybrid to happen, well, Esther, you should have been more careful with who, you slept around with, basically, and how you created your spell. Secondly, I mean, the Hollow should have been more careful with what she did. Because let me tell you, that's the only reason that the vampires are in existence, because of Hendrik dying and everything else and stuff. And if you wanted that to be more creativity, then you wouldn't have had the tribrid be a thing either, because then you wouldn't have had Klaus be able to reproduce and stuff and create one of the most powerful beings in the world to ever see, and so forth and so on and stuff, with it being part of the Lebonair line and everything else. Also, you wouldn't have allowed Siphoner witches to be born either, which means that heretics wouldn't have been born. So again, be careful with what your power possesses, because in this regard, the witches were the problem in this story.